Hello everyone, this is Avinash and today we are going to see how you can program using a C language. Here I am using Eclipse editor. So if you want to download the Eclipse editor, the link is given in the description. Right now I am starting the Eclipse editor. I have saved it into the C drive of mine. Here is the Eclipse editor I found, and you have to open this .exe file. You can use any kind of editor to program into the C, but the Eclipse is quite famous and it is open source. That is why I am using the Eclipse editor here. Just open the Eclipse editor. It will ask you for the workspace. So you can define any workspace where you can store your all the C files or the C program files. I am using this directory as my directory where I am going to save all my programs. Hit OK. Initially it will open something like this. So here we can see the project explorer window, and here is our program window, and below of all this you can see a console where we are going to see our output. So let us start with the programming. First of all, go to file, go to new and click on the C project. It will create a new project. It will open a window and it will ask you to save the project. Here I am giving a name to my project as sample. Below it, project type is there and tool chain is there. Tool chain includes the compilers that you are going to use to compile your program. What is compiler? That is I will cover that topic in 5 minutes. So basically that is it for us, and click on finish. If you can see here, sample project is created. You can click on this arrow to explore the folder, and initially it has the includes. That means it is including some files into our program. Now click on the project, right click on the project, go to new and choose C source file. Here I am going to click on this C source file. You have to create a C file. It will ask you to save the file again under the project sample, and I'm going to give a name test.c. So this is the name of my C file. I'm going to click on the finish. Now you can see the file name over here, test.c, and the default structure that is coming here. So let us start the programming. The structure of the C program is something like this. You have to write the main function this way. This is your main function. C basically starts compiling from the main function itself. If you don't write the main function, it will give you an error. And whatever programming you are supposed to do, you have to do it under the main function. So I'm simply going to print something onto the console over here, and that's all I'm going to do right now. So to print on the console, you have to use printf function, which is the inbuilt function of the C. You can see why I am using the Eclipse editor, because while writing the program it automatically shows you the errors. You can see the syntax error over here. So let us complete it. This is the syntax of the printf function. Now the error is gone. This is the syntax of the printf function. This P should be small case, not in capital case, and you have to open the round bracket here, round bracket, and then double quotes open and double quotes close, and the round bracket close, and semicolon. Semicolon here represents the end of statement. and whatever you want to print on the console, you have to write that thing into these double quotes. So here I'm writing hello C. Hello C should get printed on the console. So this is my basic program. I'm going to save it using the Control S. Now you have to build this project so that it can generate the binary files. Over here you can see no binary files are generated because the project is not built. So let us build the project first. And how to build the project? Click on project and you will find the option build all. Click on it. It is having a shortcut key Control B. Hit on build all. It will build the program for you. After building, it will show some warnings to you. But initially we are going to neglect those warnings and we are going to run the program. How to run the program? You can run it directly from here or directly from here. Here is a button available to run the program. So I'm going to click on this button to run the program. Let's see what my output is. You can see on the console what is printed. Hello C is printed. That proves that whatever we write into these double quotes, it will print automatically. If I write here some numbers, let us save the program and build it again. After building, run the program from here. Here you can see your option, run, and you can see the output, hello 1 2 3. So this is the printf function in the main function. Now what if we want to take input from the console and we are going to do some task on that input? Let us explain it in details. See, this is our C program. What we are going to write is, and this is the console where we are going to see our output, and here is my C program. Whenever I used to write something on this console, that thing should go to the C program, and to read from the C program we use scanf function, and this is the way of writing the scanf function. The same way, exactly the same way we use printf function. So if you want to take input from the console, means user is going to write something on this console and we are going to take that data, that value, that information into my C program, and I'm going to work on that program, on that value, sorry. And if I want to write something onto the console, then I have to use the printf function. Printf should be used to write on the console, and the way of writing printf is like this. So here is printf and scanf. If we want to print something onto the console, we should use printf, and if you want to take input from the console into our C program, we should use scanf. So this is the basic terminology of the C program, to take input and to give output to the console. Console is the area where our program's output is going to be displayed. So let's continue with the scanf statement. To write the scanf, you should write like this: scanf, round bracket open and close, double quotes open and close, and the semicolon. This is the right syntax of the scanf. Now our keyboard have basically 4 kind of values. Integer values means 0 to 9. Character values, that is from A to Z, small a to Z and capital A to Z. Float values, like 0.1 or 0.0 to 9.9999 and so on, and some strings are nothing but the combination of characters. So hello is my string. I'm going to write it into the double quotes. Hello is the string for me, and basically in C we call these all as basic data types. We call it as basic data types. So you can use any of the value, you can put or input any of the values among these 4 basic data types of the C. So let us take an example that you are going to add 2 numbers, then you have to take integer data as your input. For example, you have to search some character from the string, then you are going to input the character values among A to Z or capital A to Z, like this. Or you want to perform some floating point operations, something like division, or where you are going to get the output as floating data, then you have to use the float data types. Now there is some proper way of writing this kind of data, basic data types, into the C language. Let us see that type. If I write scanf %d, %d is going to tell the compiler that integer data is going to be input by the user. It tells the compiler that integer data is going to be input by the user. Basically, after inputting the data, we should save the data into the memory. So to save the data into the memory cells should be given some name, and we call that name as variables. Let us illustrate it. What actually happens? Here is your C program. Here is your C program. This is your console where you are going to see the output. And here is your memory where all the data is going to be stored. Basically it is a RAM. See, when user gives some input onto the console, for example 10, then that input should be read by the program. Means we have to take input from the console into our program, something like from console you have to take the data into your program, and that is using scanf function. As I earlier said, scanf %d will tell compiler that integer value is going to be input by the user. After scanning the integer value, we should save that integer value into some memory variable. So we should make some space in the memory to store that variable, and we give some name to this memory location. Let us say we call it as n. So n is the name given to my memory cell, and after scanning the data it will come to the program, and after program processes it, it is going to be saved into this memory location n. So I should tell compiler that where I am going to save my data after taking it from the console. So that is what we are going to say to the compiler, that input the integer value. Scan means input the integer value, comma, and save it into the n variable. Save it into the n variable. So n is an integer type of variable and we have to define it so that compiler should come to know that which kind of data n is going to be hold. So here we are going to write which type of n is, and n is integer type. So I am going to write integer n semicolon. Now the value user is going to input will save in the variable n, and our purpose is to check that whether n possesses the same value or not. So we have to print the contents of the n this time. So to print the contents of the n, we have to write here %d, so that compiler will come to know that I have to print the integer value, and we have to provide the memory location where our integer value is stored, and our memory location is n. See here, our memory location is n, and this 10 is in the memory location. So this 10 we are going to print up. Now give a comma so that we can separate what double quotes is and what memory location is. We have to separate it using the comma. Now let us write the name of the memory location, that is n. Now it will print the value of n after hello keyword. Let us check, save the program, click on project, build all. It build with no errors. So let us run it. Now click on console and type 10 for example and hit enter. See, here it prints hello 10. That is 10 is effectively saved into the n variable, and we have displayed the contents of the n successfully. That means we scan from the console here. We scan something from the console. Let me choose the different color. We scan something from the console right into our program, and our program saved the value into the memory variable. We call it as memory variable, and its name is n. You can give any kind of name to your memory variable. It is not restricted, but the rule is you should not start your variable name with integers. For example, like this 1n. Instead you can write your variable name as n1. So this is the simple rule you have to follow. So this is all about the scanf and printf. This is the basic programming of the C. So if you have any doubts, then please comment, or if you like the lecture, please hit like or subscribe. Thank you.